What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next, got a pretty awesome unboxing here. 3 books, including 2 that I think are pretty good options to pick up right now. I'll talk about why I think so, maybe show some figures, that kind of thing. Stay tuned and we will check out what we got. Alright, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. Like I said, I've got 3 boxes here. I've got 1 slab, a few raw books, some awesome books that I picked up from a number of different places, and I have a couple books that I think are really good options to be going after right now with the price points that they're at, what they've done recently, that kind of thing. So I'm going to start with this one. This is some raw books. I picked these up, mentioned them in a few videos. I picked these up from Flip Mode Comics, and they got in a new collection recently that they've been selling from, and I picked up these from that collection. Now, they said that the books are, actually, they present really well, but there's some tanning on them, and so that's why they've knocked the grades down a little bit on the books, but I always like getting these, the really nice presenting books, especially from the front cover. There's some cool books in here. You got to take off the blue tape so you can actually see the covers clearly. So let me get these off and then we'll get started. All right, so there are 3 books in this box. All 3 of them DC. Sorry, I have Marvel stuff in some of the other ones, but these are all DC. First one. This is a book you don't see in nice condition very often. And this one is Brave and the Bold, number 54. And this is the first appearance of the Teen Titans, the team known as the Teen Titans, not the modern one. This is where you've got Kid Flash, Robin, and Aqualad. And it is not the best cover. It's just, that's the thing that really holds this book back. I mean, you've got them on the cover, but this... the weather guy battling them on the front, not as great. But this one has quite a bit of tanning, but it's still a very nice presenting copy of this. I mean, you can see how clean this book looks. You can really see that tanning and that kind of thing. The lightning coming through up there. I can't say for sure if that would have been from, that might be more of a, like that one right there might be more of a, call it like a dust shadow or a sun shadow from books being stacked. But yeah, I mean, just very clean presenting copy of this book. No real creases, anything like that. Like I always say, I'll always check the books out after the video, but yeah. Brave and the Bold, number 54, first Teen Titans. Now, next one here, this is a book that I think you should be picking up right now. The prices have been coming down some on it, and this character is rumored or pretty much confirmed to be in this upcoming show. And that is Green Lantern, number 59. This is the first appearance of Guy Gardner. And I have another copy of this book that's at CGC right now. It's in the submission that I sent recently, hasn't come back yet. This is another one, really, really nice presenting copy of this. I mean, you can see how clean this book is. I mean, very little spine wear. Just got, you can tell the tanning. You can see it on his gloves there. So you can see that tanning through there. So it definitely has some tanning, but a really nice presenting copy of this. The greens on these just always really pop. Such a cool cover. Those first appearances, you've got the first appearance of Guy Gardner. You've got Hal Jordan getting beaten up on the front. The first appearance of John Stewart in the issue 87 has John Stewart getting beat up on the, or has Hal Jordan getting beaten up on the front. He never seems to do too well when the new Green Lanterns come in. But yeah. Cool book. Definitely one that I'll be considering sending off to get graded. But yeah, that's the second one. Another great first appearance. Then this is one that you don't see this book all that often. Again, in nice condition. This is a pretty nice presenting copy as well. This is Action Comics number 340, which is the first appearance of the Parasite. And again, you can see like nice copy. You've got a little bit of wear down in that corner there. But really, just no creasing on this book. Really clean looking copy. And, like I said, I'll definitely, I'll always take a look after the fact. But yeah, really clean looking copy of this. So I think just 3 pretty awesome DC Silver Age first appearances. You know, we got the first Parasite, first Guy Gardner, and then first Teen Titans. So some pretty awesome books. So really happy with those. Those are just, yeah, they look really nice. Then, all right, let's jump to the Slab. All right, so this one has the other book in it that I think is a really good book to be picking up right now. The last box has just some really cool Golden Age books, so you can't really spec on Golden Age books all that much. If you want to see some cool Golden Age books, stay tuned to that one. I picked those ones up from Super World, and he's always got fun Golden Age books. All right, now this one I picked up from my buddy Jake, who goes by Omega Red on Instagram, also hosts the Spec Tales podcast with Guaranteed Comics, Jesus from Guaranteed Comics. And yeah, this is awesome. He's got the little pull tabs here, so it makes it real easy to get this out. And this is a book that I think has just gotten too cheap again. I think this book is going to come back, and Jake was looking to sell some books, and so I decided to pick this one up. I bought a couple books from him as well in a prior unboxing. I bought an Avengers 48. Like I said, I think that one's an awesome book that's going to be going up. And then I bought a Marvel Spotlight number 2, I believe. The first appearance of Werewolf by Night. So this one is actually a slight upgrade to my current high copy that I have of this. The same grade, it's just a better page quality. Jake is always talking about the white pages, and so this one is a white pages copy. This is Special Marvel Edition number 15. This is the first appearance of Shang-Chi. It's a 9/4 white pages copy. And this book, after, you know, it spiked into the movie as you would expect, and the prices come down after the movie as you would expect. He is going to be one of the key Avengers characters in the MCU. I mean, they've made that pretty clear, and so there is no reason to not think that this book isn't going to go back up. And so that's one of these big things when you see those prices come down. And I'll grab a couple figures and I'll show them up over here, where you're seeing the prices come down in this book from last year, and in some cases, in some grades, really starting to level off. And so that's when you want to start picking them up, because they'll level off, and then when you start getting news about that character again, it will go back up. Now, that doesn't mean that this book can't go down more. That is completely possible. That can always happen. That is always a risk. But I think that this is a great book to own for it's a medium term at least, as they continue to use that character. I expect over at least the next 5 years, if not more than that. I mean, the first Avengers run basically went from, like 2007 or 2008 with Iron Man 1, all the way up to like 2019, 2020 timeframe, like 10 to 12 years. And he's one of the first characters that's part of that group. So you could see this character in the MCU for 10 years, depending on how they do this next phase. And so that's the type of thing that you want to get in on that when the prices come down, and they've come down. I think great book to own again. And so 9/4, picked from my buddy Jake. Spec Tales podcast, go check it out. It's an awesome podcast, lots of fun, has tons of great guests. But yeah, sold me this book, and I was happy to pick it up. All right, now the last box here. This one was from Super World. I think I bought these during they had one of the big sales on Elite Comics 11, one of the big live sales, because they have their weekly Tuesday sales that I talk about a lot, that I bought a number of books from. I mean, that's where I bought that Fantastic Four #1, was during one of those weekly, Tuesday at like 6 to 7:30 in the evening. They have those sales. But this one was, I believe both of these were during their big Elite Comics 11 sale. And they sold a ton of books, some really big books during that one. And I picked these two up pretty early in the sale. Always packed really well. And you've got lots of bubble wrap and newspaper and everything around. I'm going to speed this up while I get into this box. All right, so we got the 2 books out. Actually did the page counts and some things right away, just because I wanted to check. So, first one, really cool pre-code horror cover. This is Strange Mysteries, number 15. Now, it is a very clean looking front cover, but the spine is almost completely split. It is attached at the top staple. It is not attached to the bottom staple. Based on what I've seen with CGC recently, this book is going to get probably a 1.8. It's like this much spine splitting, and you're screwed. You're not getting outside of that. It is still attached to that one staple, so as long as that stays like that, I think it'll be, that 1.8. But man, such a cool skull cover. I mean, just yeah, you got the woman in the red dress on the front, skull cover, black background, just looks awesome. Strange Mysteries, number 15, and this one. See Superior Comics, that's the Canadian publisher. But yeah, so that's this one. The other one, awesome Alex Schomburg airbrush cover. Now, this was the main reason why I paused first to check the books, because there's something very unique with the cut on this book, and I don't think it's trimmed. I'm almost positive it's not trimmed because of the way it looks, but it'll look probably like you might be concerned that it was trimmed when you first see it. And this is Wonder Comics number 16, and this is a high grade copy. I think it was sold as like a 7.0, and it is a very clean looking copy. On the back there's a really small stain like this, but the reason that at first you might think it's trimmed is look at that bottom edge. That is the book. This here is the cover. But the reason I don't think it's trimmed is that it's perfectly even all around the book. It's not like they just trimmed the front or something like that. It's perfectly even all around the book. There's a small indentation even into the pages, like it's been like this for a very long time. Now there can be old trimmings, that's true, but that plus there's a small stain on the back, and it runs from the cover onto the interior page, which means, yeah, it's possible that the book got that stain after it was trimmed, but I feel like that's pretty unlikely. If it's reached a point where it's being trimmed, it's being sold in a way that somebody's probably taking good care of it after that, because somebody's trying to trick someone, And so I feel like that's unlikely that you would have a stain that runs from the cover to the interior page with trimming. I mean, yeah, like it is something that right when I opened it, that jumped out, and I was like, what is that? Like, why is that cover above that edge? But I do not think that is trimmed. None of the other edges throw off anything that would make you think it is. You can see just look how incredible this copy is. You've got that Zella signature, so this is Alex backwards. That's how Alex Schomburg signed a lot of these airbrush covers. He did the Zella signature, but I mean, it's got a little bit of spine wear, but you got to get pretty close to see it. It's a little clearer on the back, where you've got that white cover. You can see it a little more on the kind of like cream cover, but yeah, that is a stunner of a cover. And I've always really liked these Wonder Comics covers. I don't think I've ever owned one that's one of the Alex Schomburg. I don't know if I've ever owned one of these. I don't think I have. But yeah, this is a really cool one. Got that sci-fi airbrush cover. Got the ray gun, the good girl art on the cover. Fortunately, it's the guy bondage. That doesn't really add value to the books, for these Golden Age books. But yeah, that was the thing that really kind of like threw me off at first, and so it made me pause, and I checked, and I don't think that's trimmed, but yeah, just really an incredible presenting copy of this book. That's also the kind of thing that makes you a little nervous. You're like, oh, was the edge bad, but the interior was clean, and that's why it got trimmed. But I don't think so. I don't think so. So yeah, Wonder Comics number 16. Super cool Golden Age book. Really happy about that one. And then Strange Mysteries number 15. Just what I've learned with the spine splitting. I don't think it's going to get, like, it was sold as a 2.5, and I don't see it happening. I think it's going to get a 1.8, but I'm still okay with that, just because it's such a cool skull cover. Just like I said, after these recent submissions, I've learned that CGC is hammering the spine splits, and so that's why, like, you know, a spine split like this, I don't think it can get there. But still, really cool skull cover. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Saw some cool books, some cool first appearances, DC Silver Age first appearances, the Special Marvel Edition 15 book that I think is a great book to pick up right now, and then just a couple cool Golden Age books. I always like to get some Golden Age books in there. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. I've got more videos over here if you'd like to watch some of my other videos, and the subscription button right here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.